All right, welcome back to this video where we'll start looking at the user pool client. In the previous video, we were able to look at configuring the Cognito user pool and worked on the necessary arguments here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at creating the user pool client. All right. So in order to do that, we'll do resource aws underscore cognito underscore user pool, and we're looking at the client, right? And I'm just going to call this user pool underscore client. Now again, not all these arguments are required, but we're going to set the kind of arguments that are going to make it easy to work with this user pool with something like Node.js or any other programming language, essentially the SDK. Right, so we're going to pass it a name, and I'm just going to use my client just for demonstration purposes. And then now we need to tie this client to a specific user pool, and how we're going to do that is by getting the ID of the user pool that we created just above. And then we're going to set the the auth user flow, and there's a couple of these that we have to set. The first one being allow underscore srp auth. The second one is going to be allow underscore refresh token underscore auth. The next one is going to be allow underscore user password underscore auth. Essentially what this will allow is that when we're using the SDK and we'll be able to use certain actions that allow our users to be able to pass the credentials to Cognito and be able to get an authentication token that we can then use to decrypt, and they can use for protected routes that we have in our application. The next thing is to generate secret, and we'll set that to false. Prevent user existence errors, and we'll use legacy errors. Again, this is just to make it easier to handle errors within our own application or API when we use Amazon Cognito. Then we're going to start looking at the validity of tokens. Remember, it returns us a couple of tokens. One is an ID token, an access token, and a refresh token. So in terms of how long we want the refresh token to be valid for, we'll set it to 1. We'll do the same with the access token as well, and we'll do the same with the ID token. Then the last thing is to set the token validity units. So do we want it to be valid for and be determined using hours, minutes, and so forth. And for us, we're just going to do hours for all three. So the ID token will be hours. The refresh token will also be hours. Okay, cool. Believe it or not, but that's essentially all we need to set up for our client. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it here. And in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to start running the Terraform commands to deploy this, and then be able to see if our configuration has been successful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.